got a nice day. Alright, gotta get set up here. I think it even smells a little fishy, which is interesting. Gonna have to change this out. I think we're ready. This water quality doesn't look the best. Alright, welcome to a morning here in early August. Cloudy, overcast. I think it's going to start clearing up later, but right now we're going to have to deal with less than ideal conditions. And yeah, we're gonna just aim for fluke. We're not even gonna keep porgies or sea robins. Basically, we've been having them every week, so I'm just gonna want fluke. All about the fluke today. So because of that, I'm probably gonna go with a straight bucktail gulp setup. Just, you know, use what I know works the best. So it's gonna have less interference fish probably, and that's what we want. So we'll see what happens and catch back in when we get to our first spot. We're in like almost 20 feet. Just started to try this area a little bit. That's a fluke. Alright. We know they will hit this. That's a good hook. Oh, dang. I don't think that was a fluke. He took off in a hurry. Probably porgy, maybe bluefish. Hope not bluefish. And now is when we see how fast these will go. We got a decent fluke. A little heavier than the first one. He's getting a big Almost a keeper, but not really. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be 18. Wow, he almost makes it, but he's short. He's 18. It's a good sign. Absolutely inhaled it too. Even better. Alright, let's drop back down. Liking what I'm seeing today. Fluke are definitely here. Well, they're small so far. Definitely marking some bait down there, which is good. So we like to see, you know, some bait, some fish, some short fluke. We just gotta find that big one. Ooh, he's got it. This feels like a sea bass. Oh no. That was different. That was definitely a sea bass. No, this feels like a fluke. Or a sea robin. Fluke. Oh. Oh well. He wasn't a keeper. Oh man. Got a good feed here. Alright. Oof. I would have liked to seen that first fish. Good head shakes. Deep head shakes, not like short taps. Probably a sea bass. Alright, let's get him. Let's get him. Stuck him as soon as we drop. There's a lot of fluke down there. Oh, he just came off. There's a lot of fluke. I just caught one before too. Off camera. We're gonna get him. Come on. So much bait. They're definitely on this feed right here. The wind was supposed to blow the other direction of the current. I was gonna have wind against tide, but looks like the wind is light enough that only the current is taking me along my drift. Oh, it feels like a big robin. So I'm going to start off this drift with some porgies. Here's a close-up of one. I'm using a piece of clam actually there on the top hook. I started out a little deeper because I wanted to see what the bottom looked like. And yeah, it looks pretty rocky with some shells, some sand. Looks pretty good for a fluke, but all I saw were mostly porgies. You will see that I tried to jig the pink jig that I was working into the view of the camera at times, and mostly unsuccessful, but later on you'll see we were able to, get some action in the shot. So then I moved in shallower. There's a starfish, and as you can see the water clarity is a lot better, and there's a lot more rocks, more boulders. And I want you to focus on the top of that rock. If you can see the top right, there's actually a fluke hiding out there, and it's quite amazing. He's gonna stay there for a while even though there's a lot of commotion going on around him. So I think eventually the bait and the weight startle him, and he just slowly moves off, not really interested in anything that I'm trying to catch him with. And also in this area I noticed a lot of blackfish, as you can see right there. I guess because of the bigger boulders, but surprising amount of blackfish I saw in a lot of these clips. So this big pull off the bottom seems to have attracted a fluke, and as he swoops down to hone in on the bait, you'll see his back fins there kind of moving independently, sort of honing him in on the bait. It's pretty amazing how just they have control over all the sides of their fins there. And then if you just saw that blackfish going by, but I think it's the same fluke here, but he's gonna follow this pink bait for a while. Oh, see there, he gets a little startled. But yeah, he's gonna follow this thing around, stir up the bottom, and here you go. Right there, eventually I do catch him. I think he comes off. Yeah, he came off. And then he comes back for it one more time off camera. This is another fluke who actually is sitting on a rock again. It's amazing how many times I've seen fluke hiding on the tops of these boulders. And then, he's chasing that pink bucktail there. He also, I think, comes off, yep, and swooping back down to his hiding spot. You're going to see another blackfish there in the distance, top right. So now we're over a more sandier bottom away from the boulders. Yep, here's another fluke. And he's going to be chasing the weight. Can't tell you how many times these fluke have chased the weight. So then after chasing that back bait for a little bit, he actually sees my pink bucktail there to the right and grabs it. Yeah, there he goes, got it in his mouth. And something interesting is going to happen. So, he's going to come up, tank all these lines, but then somehow I think he's going to release the pink bucktail and actually grab the white one. See here, he doesn't have it in his mouth anymore. But he's still struggling with something. And here you go, the same clip. You're going to see how he has the white one in his mouth. So here you go, once again, another fluke hidden on that rock if you can see him. Look real close, there he goes, he moved. You might have to rewind to see that again. The current's supposed to be ripping, but it's just not, and the wind's kind of like making me sit still. So today is this Porgy's lucky day, because I'm not keeping anything but a fluke. And he hit an absolute fluke rake. It is wind against tide right now, but both tide and wind aren't that strong. So it's kind of easy to manage. Kind of paddle into the wind a little bit with the slow current. But yeah, so far we've only gotten a bunch of small fluke. I think I got some on underwater camera, but we'll have to see. Definitely was a earlier bite in the morning when the tide was starting to ramp up. And now that the tide's just kind of straight going, it's not really doing much. It's almost 10 o'clock. Can't believe we got one in the shallow water with wind against tide. It's a decent one too. Oh. I think it's almost gonna keep. Gonna be really close. Nope, not even close. 18. It's good. Healthy fluke though. Oh, so strong. Alright. So now in this drift, I'm off the rocks a little bit, more towards the sand, and you'll see got some spider crabs, some sea robins, and we do have a fluke, but a small one. Just kind of comes to investigate, and he chases this this back piece of squid with a, I think it's a gulp body on the hook, but just a, yeah, here he goes tasting it a little bit. But he's gonna follow this for quite a ways, all the way pretty much until I reel it in. Here we have another fluke zooming in from the right here. And he's going to do something interesting. He's like tasting, I think he's tasting the water behind the bait. Not really sure. Never really seen that kind of behavior before. He doesn't have the bait in his mouth, but he's still tasting or something. And really, it's fascinating how far these fluke will chase the bait. So moving on, this is the last clip. Just wanted to show some interesting things about how when I was drifting in a certain area, there's just so many spider crabs in this one area. Not really sure why, but this is all the same drift, probably within 2 minutes of each other, all these little clips, and there's probably half a dozen spider crabs. And then there's a cable line there too. I'm not really sure, but I thought that was interesting. Alright, that's a wrap. We did okay on fluke, but no keepers. And just one porgy, a couple sea robins. I think I had a sea bass, but dropped it. And yeah, I think we got some pretty good underwater footage though. Especially maybe some fluke in shallow where some rocks were, we'll see. But, you know, all in all, it's a nice day to be out. Hopefully the underwater footage is good so that, you know, it makes up for the no keeper. And yeah, we'll catch back in next time. Thanks for tuning in.